What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to talk about Dana White and the UFC and his future. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Help the channel grow. All right, guys, getting right into it. Dana White, what's going on, man? I mean, he's been a bit absent. He lost his promotion deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh for the Crawford-Canelo deal. They decided to switch promoters to the Saudi Arabian-based Sella promoter, which, honestly, I'm a little surprised, but hindsight's 2020. I feel like Turkey really used Dana to really get the MMA fans involved with the Canelo-Crawford fight, and then once they got it kind of announced and they got the eyeballs and they got to see what type of attention it drew out, they kind of got rid of Dana, and then they brought in their own people. I'm not really, as it has played out over the last few days, I'm not really shocked by it. Now, the fight was also originally supposed to be at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, but now that has been, I guess they're really just not mentioning that anymore. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be in Saudi Arabia, Dubai. They still say it's going to be September 13th. They do not have a broadcaster yet, but, they're probably going to get a Saudi Arabian-based broadcasting company. Probably they're really trying to start their own monopoly side over there. I think that is kind of the first push of the Riyadh season, kind of showing their true colors here with Turkey Al-Sheikh. But which now kind of leaves to where my video goes to, Dana White. Dana, I think the writing was on the wall with him leaving with TKO and doing his own thing with TKO boxing and really making that first big push with the Canelo-Crawford fight, but now that has fallen through. And Dana, we haven't really heard anything of, and I think that just goes to show how much this is affecting him, right? His only other avenue is Power Slap, which is honestly, it's probably dying very quickly. It was a quick lightning in a bottle, cash grab, quick views, shock value type of sport. But really, he likes to compare it to the early days of the UFC, but there's really no way that you can evolve slap fighting into any sort of technique, right? Or a respectable sport. And I think that's also becoming evident. So, I think Dana, going back to the UFC, he's not going to have the power he once had. He's going to stay kind of right where he is. He wants the UFC to be back to the way that it used to be, but with them being sold over the years, WME, IMG, they've really taken over. And you see him wanting to go off and do his own thing. I think he wanted to make a big splash, but now it's no longer possible. At least in the way that he wanted to do it. That's the biggest fight that you could have made, right? And honestly, if I was, in his position, you just start TKO from scratch like you did with UFC. You just bring in your own talent. You try and go out there and just get guys to believe in your brand. And I think that's the best way that they're going to have to go, because I think Saudi Arabia, they're going to throw so much money at these guys, it's going to be hard to get them on the TKO side. But I think that's probably going to be his best bet, because clearly things went south over there with Turkey. And honestly, I think Dana's best bet is just taking TKO in their own direction, make their own big fights, and bring in their own up-and-coming guys and just grow from the ground up. It's something I'd follow, for sure. But he's in a weird position, and it's obvious that his absence speaks more than I think if he were to be out there making statements. I think it just goes to show it's affecting him, and he's probably figuring out what he's going to do next. I selfishly, I'd like to see him back at the UFC, but I'm not sure how much it changes it. But I just think Dana there being the face and kind of being that, that iron fist, I've always been a fan of. I think a big reason why the UFC's success is because of him. But the whole UFC thing and the Apex, I think that's a whole nother issue and vibe that I think needs to get fixed. I think he would agree. But all in all, I think with Dana White, I don't know what he's going to do next. I don't know if he's going to fix his relationship with Turkey Al-Sheikh. I don't know, cut your losses with power slap, honestly, and just focus. I think, honestly, I'd like to see him focus on TK. If he's that passionate about boxing as he always has been, I'd like to see where he can take it. And I think that Dana is the type of guy that can actually do that at a high level. You know, there's a lot of financial issues in all of combat sports, top to bottom. And I don't know if that's ever going to get sorted out. But I think to get the best out of Dana White, I'd like to see him move in that direction with TKO boxing. I don't know. Guys, that's going to do it for today. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think is next for Dana White? I don't know why I made a Dana White video, but I don't know. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. If you guys like the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But guys, that's going to do it for today. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.